Welcome to the Soul Infused Monday Show, your show for an inspired and meaningful week. If you are already watching this live, or if you are watching the replay, I invite you to take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, become present. And while there's a moment of transition so that people can jump in, I invite you to remove any distractions. And I welcome you to today's episode number 218, called How to Keep Trusting Your Journey Even When You Feel Lost, or especially when you feel lost. Now, if you are already on the show right now, leave me a comment, say hello, and I will jump into it in just a moment. Also, let me know if you're here and see me. I'm still in Colombia, somewhere else up in the mountains. It's quite chilly here, but it's nice and green, if you can see. And I'm going to start in just a moment. So yeah, let me know if you're here. Leave a comment, say hello, and I will jump right in. So, great to see you, Robin. Yes, leave me comments. I see all the comments, even if later. Welcome to the Soul Infused Monday Show. Today, episode number 218, How to Keep Trusting Your Journey Even When You Feel Lost. And feeling lost can have different meanings to different people. And even if you don't feel lost right now, simply being here on the show today, simply taking a breath and being in this field that I'm creating with you and with wonderful, amazing, like-minded people, you are already doing something to shift your energy. So I invite you to take a deep breath. I invite you to become present in this moment right now. No matter what happened a minute ago, no matter what you're maybe worrying about the future, I invite you to be present right here, right now. And take one more deep breath. How do we keep trusting when we feel lost? And I'm going to give you a few examples how that can look like. And maybe you're not lost right now, or you don't have a sense of feeling lost, but you felt this way in the past. Or maybe you know someone right now. Or maybe you simply want to be in this good energy, feel uplifted after this, and start your week in a really meaningful way. Either way, I'm so excited that you're here. Thank you so much for taking the time. And I am still in Colombia. I am in the mountains. It's pretty cold up here right now. And I am, you don't see me obviously, or just part of me. And I have a blanket and I have fat socks. And it's just quite a journey here. When we are on a spiritual journey or inner growth journey, on the journey, committed to growing, to keep moving, there are times when we feel, or we can feel, we are somehow lost. It can look like, for example, doubting the path itself. Maybe questions or thoughts like, am I on the right path? Am I doing the right thing? Having a hard time making a decision. Am I maybe doing the wrong decision? Fear of making the wrong decision. It can be a sense of being in the unknown, being unclear. It can be a sense of darkness, not knowing. It can be a sense of disconnection. especially on the spiritual path. And when you're connected to your higher self, or to your soul, or to your wisdom, to your guidance, sometimes it feels like we are disconnected and we don't really know where to turn, right, left, center. And I can relate to that big time, even right now. But before I dive into how you can keep trusting, or what you can do to keep your energy aligned, or even just feeling present in the moment, I want to hear from you. Where are you right now? How does that resonate with you? And if you are here on the show live, on the replay, and you can leave a comment, leave a comment. And if you're listening to this on Spotify or Insight Timer and you're not able to leave a comment, leave me a review or send me a message. It always means the world to me. And while you tune in what that means to you, where you are at in your journey, and you sharing that with me, I'm going to give you an example from my own life. So I moved away from the Dominican Republic. I left that behind in search of a new home. So that's a journey that I'm on. And I do not know where I am going to end up. I just had the calling, and I'm currently in Colombia. I'm currently traveling. That might not be my new home. And I also had moments in the last few months, or last year even, when I was sitting there and I did not know what to do. And I was wondering, where am I guided to be? Like, what am I doing? What shall I do? Where shall I go? And these moments can be really challenging. I had moments where I was doubting my own sanity by doing something so crazy. And at the same time, no matter how that looks like for you, I'm going to give you a very simple but powerful metaphor for the path. Even if you've heard it before, even if you think it sounds easier than it is, let it sink in. When you feel lost, when you feel like you don't know what to go, where to go, or you're doubting yourself, or you're doubting that you're on the right path, or you just simply don't trust it anymore, here is what you can do. Keep walking. Okay, I'm going to say that again. And when you feel like you're lost and you don't know where to go, what to do, you feel insecure, maybe you are caught up in judgment. There's so many ways on how this can manifest. Keep walking. One step at a time. Imagine this, your spiritual journey or inner growth journey, whatever path you're on, is like a real pathway. And you're walking on that pathway. Sometimes the sun is shining and you hear the birds singing and you feel great and light and you see the path ahead of you super clear. You know exactly where you want to go. And then there are moments where maybe it starts raining, it's dark, it's cloudy. Maybe there's even such a big, thick fog that you are not seeing where you're going and you get scared and you are insecure. And sometimes we feel stuck, or we might even want to turn around. And you keep walking one step at a time. Why this is so important is often when we feel scared or lost or insecure, we are often ahead of ourselves in the future worrying, and we want to have it figured out. We want to already know where we're going to be. And therefore we lose the present moment. So by focusing only on one step, you also set the intention to come back to this present moment and to let go about the worrying of where you're going to be 10 steps ahead. Does that resonate with you? Does that make sense? And when you take a step, you might actually stumble, you might trip. Maybe there's a paddle and your foot gets wet. Maybe you step into a muddy piece of soil and your shoe is completely dirty. Maybe you fall. And maybe at some point you see more clear and you choose to turn around. You have so many options. However, the most important piece is to keep walking. Because if you just trust one step, if you can trust that you can take another step, you are still on the path. And for anybody who is afraid of making the wrong step, making the wrong decision, I want to let you know there is no such thing. There is no such thing that a wrong decision. There's only a decision and a consequence, and you always have a choice to shift around. Because sometimes we do make a step that leads into a direction that doesn't feel good, that we realize, oh gosh, no, that's not what I want. But if you wouldn't have taken that step, you wouldn't even know. So even those so-called wrong steps or decisions that you think you might have taken led you to what you actually want. So how to keep trusting the journey? You keep taking one step at a time. You keep walking even when you don't trust. You keep walking even if you are afraid. You keep taking a step. Maybe it's a much smaller step. Sometimes you feel confident, you feel clear on your path. You feel like, oh my gosh, I know exactly what I'm doing. I feel motivated. I feel inspired. I'm on top of the world. And you took fast, strong steps. And sometimes you just make a little step because you're really not so sure. And that's okay. And I want to say it's totally okay to feel lost sometimes. There's this beautiful quote, and I'm not 100% sure I'm saying it correctly, and at the same time, it doesn't even matter. There's this quote that says, sometimes you have to get lost in order to find your way. I'm going to repeat that one. You might even want to write it down. And take a deep breath. Sometimes you have to get lost to find your way. And I don't know about you, but I got lost in my life. I remember once in Maui, I was in the woods by myself very early in the morning. It was Christmas time. There was no one else there. And I got lost. I literally got lost. And I was walking around for hours. And I had moments where I was really scared. And I just kept walking. I just kept walking. I just kept walking. What else should I do? At some point, I did find the way out. And it was not the only time that I got lost. Sometimes we get lost, and that's okay. The self-judgment around it and the discomfort of being in the unknown is what makes us feel so bad sometimes. And I did have a show. It was the number 216, where I share with you how to deal with the fear of the unknown. So if you have not listened to this one, I would go back to number 216, how to deal with the fear of the unknown. That will help you as well when you feel lost on your journey. So take a deep breath and feel into what's resonating with you. Just let it sink in. And for a moment, acknowledge yourself for the path that you're in. Choose for a moment to keep walking. And I'm going to take a moment to go over your comments. And if you have questions, please let me know. And while you're tuning in, also tune in already. What are you taking out of this call today? What's landing for you? What's your biggest aha moment? And I do always love to go over your comments. So, and I see so many familiar faces. I love seeing you here. And so I have a comment here. Parenting always gives me a sense of, am I doing the right thing? Am I making the right decision? Jessica, I hear you, and so many parents and moms as well. It's normal, and that's okay. Apply the same principles. And also for anybody who feels that way, as I said that last time, I think I said it many times. The breath is your best friend. Take a deep breath. Come back to center. Come back to center energetically. You want to bring your energy back in. You want to relax your base. You want to be connected with your core, and then you want to be connected up to your higher self. In that state of being, because everything is a state of energy. It's not what happens to you. It's in which state of energy are you being in order to handle the situation. And Robin is saying, everything you're describing is resonating with me deeply. Today was meant for me to log on. So happy to hear that, Robin. So good to be here with you. Decision-making, fear, so much is keeping me from walking forward. So much fog, as you say it. Yes. Yeah, take a breath. You're not alone. And sometimes it does help to literally imagine yourself on this path with the fog. And of course, you're gonna imagine you're driving with your car. When the sun is shining, the road is dry, you drive, you don't worry too much about it, you feel safe. Now, when there is fog and maybe it's raining and it's night, you might feel more insecure. You might not feel so safe, and you're not gonna drive as fast. It might take you much longer to get where you wanted to go. And yet, are you gonna arrive? Yeah, maybe you even take a moment to pause and wait a little. That's okay too. So these images can really help you when you are caught up in distress. And I can sense that for many, and maybe for you too, the self-judgment and the pressure of being somewhere where you are maybe not being or you think you should be is adding to the stress. So remove self-judgment. Be kind. Be intentional. Choose your thoughts. Be selective. That will help you tremendously. And of course, keep meditating every day. Start every day by going inward, going upward, connecting to your higher wisdom. Because when you feel lost, you often also feel disconnected. You are not disconnected ultimately, because you're always connected. However, we feel disconnected. And how you can reconnect to your higher wisdom is through meditation, through taking time to spend alone, to spend quality time, to be silent, to be present, and to disconnect from the noise outside. One step at a time, and then take time in between to think if it's the right step. That's important and helps. Yes, Barbara, beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And take away here, no judgment, except, yes, beautiful. And I have one other comment here. I like the metaphor of being lost in the woods. I guess I'm just pausing to find the best direction to keep walking. Yes, absolutely. Great. I see this is landing for you. Great. Good. Now, here's my invitation for you today, for the rest of the day and for the rest of the week. And tomorrow is the 1st of the month. And if you are on my email list, you know that you will get a reminder email on every 1st of the month to reset, to readjust, to start fresh. And if you're not on my email list and you want to be on my email list, leave me a comment, send me a message, or let me know, because every first of the month you are going to get an email to help you reset. And that came from the show I did in the beginning of the year, where we often make New Year's resolutions and then we forget about them and get lost in the year. So tomorrow is the 1st of March. Make sure to check your inbox, check your spam folder if you don't see my email, and start fresh. So the invitation is, throughout the day today, when you remember and you take a step, because you're going to take a lot of steps today. A lot of them are totally unintentional. You're not going to pay attention. Pay attention when you walk. Slow down. Be conscious. Take a breath. And celebrate where you are, instead of judging yourself for where you are maybe not. I'm gonna repeat this. Celebrate today for all the things you've accomplished in your life. Maybe things that you are accomplished today, even if it's just one tiny thing. And keep walking consciously and love yourself through this journey. It is a challenging time. There are a lot of challenges in the world. And what you can do is to contribute by staying intentional, by staying mindful, by staying loving and kind. And you do this within yourself first. If you want to make a difference in the world, that I know a lot of my people of this community are heart-centered people who really want to make a difference in the world. If you want to make a difference in the world, become present. Accept what is. Remove self-judgment. Be kind. Connect up. Slow down. Breathe. And I'm going to leave you with this today. But before you go, I do want you to take a moment to tune in and ask yourself, what is the biggest takeaway you're taking away from today? What is your biggest takeaway from this episode today? And take a moment. I even give you this moment. There's no rush. Take a deep breath. What is your biggest takeaway from this episode today? And take a moment right now to either leave a comment, to leave a message or a review. Maybe you want to write it down so that by the end of the show, you can send me a message. And I will stay here for a moment and share some of your takeaways, because that is tremendously beneficial for other people as well. So you're not only sharing this for your own sake because you're going to anchor it, you're also giving someone else the opportunity to have maybe a breakthrough that they didn't even know that this was that was meant for them today. So take a deep breath. Gonna check your messages, and I'm gonna share some of your biggest takeaways. And if you've done so already, make sure you set a reminder for next week, Monday, where I'm going to come live again for the Soul Infused Monday show. And I invite you to keep breathing and walking. Okay. So one takeaway is the picture self walking in woods analogy is biggest takeaway. Yeah, great takeaway. That's a great. Walking forward, make it a little muddy. Yeah, that's a great takeaway. And you know what? I would even say it will for sure get muddy at some point. It's inevitable. And when we accept that and we are okay with that, we can clean our shoes We can throw them away, get new ones. We can walk barefoot for a while. It's okay to be muddy sometimes. Just keep walking forward. That's the biggest takeaway. Yeah, that's fantastic. And then one other takeaway, stop when you're in the fog. Think, what do you want to do or think is best for you to feel happy? Beautiful takeaway. Wonderful. Thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate you. I love you. Wherever you are on your journey, you are not alone. Come back on Monday. Come back on Monday. Check your email tomorrow, March 1st. If you're listening to this at a later point, hopefully you will get another first of the month email. And if you want to be on my email list, let me know. I wish you a wonderful, insightful, intentional, and meaningful rest of your day and week. And I'm excited to seeing you again in the next episode of Soul Infused Monday. Much love.